بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين أفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. أسأل الله تبارك وتعالى أن يجعل نياتنا خالصة لوجهه الكريم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Inshallah tabaraka wa ta'ala, I want to remind you and encourage you to attend our first session of this year in the gatherings of Hadith and its related science studies at Masjid Muhammad in Atlantic City. These will be bi-monthly gatherings in which we narrate and explain the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the sciences that relate to the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with our chains of narration back to those books and to those scholars, and ultimately back to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is something that we've been talking about it for years, and we've actually had some sessions ourselves and those with our teachers. But now we have the intention to make this a standard in our communities, that insha'Allah ta'ala would continue for generations. And Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala mentioned to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that we have sent to you the reminder, meaning the Quran, so that you can make it clear, can explain it to the people. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did that, explaining of revelation and clarifying revelation through his honorable and noble hadith. And the scholars of Islam, especially the scholars of hadith, they sifted through that abundant amount of information that came from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in explaining the Quran, and they distinguish between what was rigorously authentic, what was well authentic, what was weak, what was fabricated, and how that reached us. So in these gatherings, we're going to be discussing all of that in stages with details. So these sessions are going to be, insha'Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, extremely beneficial. And it will be something that is designed and taught and conveyed specifically in a way that's accessible for common people. That's our objective. Our objective is to give access to this knowledge to a segment of our community who normally would not have access. And our hopes in doing that is that over time, they would develop to a level of appreciation of this knowledge, an understanding of this knowledge, and ultimately some proficiency in this knowledge, which is the knowledge of al-Hadith. So we're starting with the 40 Hadith of Imam Nawawi, which among Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah is usually the first book that is introduced to the student who is studying in the science of Hadith narration. This book written by the famous Imam Al-Hafidh Abu Zakaria Yahya ibn Sharaf al-Nawawi. Whose book is famous from the time it was written to this day. And that book will be narrated with our chains with an S of narration. And something unique we plan on doing on this trip, where on this reading, we're going to share in the reading with our elders who preceded us, so that we get the barakah, the blessing that is attached to reverence and respect to our elders who have preceded us in the journey and haven't seen in our communities for us doing this work. So it will bring joy to their hearts. They would get to see what they would have loved to see in their time in the community that they didn't get to see at this level, and we would do it. It would be such a joyous occasion. I'm looking forward to it myself, because honestly, in our communities, the African American communities, we haven't seen the like of this as a normal standard practice, and we want to develop that. And you hear us talk about things all the time. In this session, you're going to see it at work. Like we talk about asanid and chains of transmission and all of that stuff, but you're going to actually be involved in it, right? And it's going to be a connection from generation to generation, a way of like passing the torch in our communities. And one of the teachers that is joining us, may Allah make it so, was the teacher of mostly every major in our scene in the African community. He was their teacher. So it's a historical context to this too. Most of our known people, he was the one who started them. And inshallah, he was doing what we're talking about in the 60s and 70s, early, before we was even born and when we were little kids. And for years, we've been talking about this, literally years. And we said, let's do it. Let's not keep waiting. And I think it's going to be the beginning of something great, inshallah ta'ala. And the way we're going to do it, it's going to ultimately be a moving caravan for the narration and explanation of the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is something that's going to move, inshallah ta'ala. But also, there will be no recording. There will be no recording, no videoing. You have to attend. Or wait till it comes to an area near you. But there will be absolutely no recording. So let me mention that before you even come. There will be no recording. If there is anyone recording, there will be people watching, and you will be kindly asked to leave. You won't even be given a second chance. If you record, ma'as salama. Because there is something we're trying to protect. The integrity of these gatherings. And it allows, by being publicly private, if that makes sense to you, publicly private. Even though we're all allowed to attend, once we attend, it's a private gathering. It's only for those who attend. And in this way, we can be open because we see everyone we're talking to. We can make sure that everyone we're talking to is understanding and it doesn't go outside of that. And inshallah ta'ala, it'll allow to really have the maximum benefit of the gatherings. The maximum benefit. And one of the other things I'm hoping for, it will also be a means where we can unify, though we may differ sometimes in our communities in different areas. But from this route, we can have a opportunity to unify ourselves or to ease the tension of differing, because this is the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and all of us need our access to it. And there will be many treats. I like one of my teachers used to say that, to make sure you come to the session. There will be goodies and treats that will not be given only except at the session. If you miss it, you don't get the goodies. MashaAllah. So I hope most of you have already prepared to come, and let's benefit. And we're going to go from book to book to book to book. My intention is that over the next few years, and it probably will take that, we would finish at least some of the major books of Hadith. With reading and with explanation. So there's going to be a little endeavoring, because they're going to be bi-monthly sessions, so every other month. In addition to other sessions that we're going to have in between those months. So we're getting ready to pump it back up at Masjid Muhammad, like we used to have it before COVID. But now, inshallah, there's going to be regular, serious lessons. Also, the week before Ramadan, we're planning, which is the first week of March, which I will announce at this event. There's going to be a powerful gathering at Masjid Muhammad with several teachers. So that's March. So we're looking at the first week, inshallah, of March, first weekend of March, for a major gathering. Possibly the second, but it'll be right before Ramadan, but we're still we're looking for the first week though. Inshallah ta'ala. We're just working out the details and the teachers. So I just wanted to take this time to share that information with you, because I know it's close. We're talking about only 5 days away. Not even 5 days. Today's Tuesday. 3 days away. So those who can make it, inshallah, tabarak wa ta'ala, I pray you make it. And make the first, it's from 10, Saturday from 10 to 6, Sunday from 10 to 6. You need to be here Saturday at 10 o'clock, because Saturday will be the complete reading of the Arabic text. So you don't want to miss that. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. The narrations will happen on Saturday. The rest of Saturday and Sunday will be explanations. The actual narration will happen on Saturday, so you need to be on time. If you miss Saturday, you miss a great opportunity. So don't come late. Make sure you're on time. Because our intention is to have narration and then detailed explanation. Because we did it in Pittsburgh and we discovered that doing narration and explanation is very time consuming and you're pushing narration. So we're going to do narration first. And then after narration, we're going to go back and do detailed explanation. In that way, the narration is finished. And now we can comfortably use our joint knowledge and experience to explain the text, highlight what we need to highlight because we actually covered the text. And there's another reason for that. When we get to the bigger books of Hadith, you need to train yourself to sit through Arabic, even if you don't know it. And then as you sit through the Arabic, we can cover more and then do brief comments on different aspects of the text that we need. So we don't need everything. We need some things. So let's cover it. So we all covered it. And then we have explanation of the points that are very significant to us because it's designed and catered to produce a certain result. So it's going to be nice, inshallah ta'ala. And also, it will share the spreading of knowledge to succeeding generations. But we're starting the process, but we have some very important contributions in terms of narration and teachers that are going to be joining us as we continue the journey. Right? And I'm really, 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 really excited. So tomorrow, inshallah, we'll share some hotel information with you for those who may want to get hotels. In fact, I can do that right now. Hold on one second. This is the hotel I recommend for you. You need a vehicle, though. This is the hotel I recommend. It is a nice hotel. I don't know, 4, 3.5, 4 stars, something like that. Uh, it has breakfast. You have to have a vehicle though, because it's not close to the masjid. Uh, it's not that far, but you need a vehicle. Um, so that's the one. I would suggest that you go to. For those of you who have money, I would suggest this hotel. I don't know how much the rates are today. I mean, this weekend. Sorry. What the heck? Uh, but the Sheraton in Atlantic City, which is like 6, 7 minutes from the masjid, uh, it's winter, so they might be cheaper rates. Uh, but that is another hotel I suggest for those who have that ability. So those two, I always like where you can be comfortable. There are many others. The Hampton Inn, I'll put the phone number for the Hampton Inn. The Hampton Inn, there's the phone number here. And the Sheraton, there's the phone number there. So there's both of the phone numbers for each place. I recommend them for those who are getting the hotel. But there are hotels all over the place. I'm just talking about where I would stay. But there are hotels all over the place. Also, we will have um, we will have available uh, like Uber drivers that if you need that from our community that can get you back and forth from one place to another, even if you're way out there, they will arrange some, decent price if you're out at the Hampton end. But if you're at the Sheraton, they'll move you back and forth. Muslims. So we arrange that as well. But take this journey with us, inshallah, tabaraka wa ta'ala. Take this journey with us. I want to do something that's never been done before that I know of in our community. I'm trying to get something done. I definitely need your support and assistance. You know, oftentimes we talk about what we're not doing, what we don't have, what others have, but we are not taking advantage of what we have. I want to change that. We're not a bankrupt people. We have what we need. We have what we need. We just have to respect it and honor it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put barakah in it. Will put blessings in it, inshallah ta'ala. So is there any questions about that? This wasn't really so much a class. It was more of information session, inspiring us to do the work. In terms of the books, the book will be available there. So no need to try to order online. If you're coming, the book is there. The plans for the first week of March are definite. Yes. We just nailing down the date for sure and the details. The cost for this session is free but not free. So someone asked me about the cost. The cost is free but not free. Does everyone know what that means? The cost is free but not free. I wonder if y'all, what does that mean when it says the cost is free but not free? Could someone give me details? What does that mean to you? I've learned to stop saying free. It is a disease for us. Nothing is free. So what do I mean by that? No. Y'all, donations, but y'all missed the whole point. Donations is true. That's true. That's really not the point. Bingo. There you go. It's free for you. You don't have to pay. But somebody always pays. And if you keep attending for free and never give, I guarantee you, when the one who's paying is no longer able to pay, that thing that is free either goes away or becomes extra expensive. Do you know that's how it works? So it's free for you to attend, but somebody is actually paying for that free space you have. And if you don't contribute to that, whenever that one, whoever is paying, whenever they can't pay no more, either the event stops or it becomes more expensive. Do y'all get that? No, it's serious. I'm saying that because sometimes we don't realize that. I did a class one time. It was about running nonprofits. And I want to share the story with you since we got this part. But let me share the story with you. So there was a woman who had like 20 or 30 years in nonprofit experience. It's just we all masjids are nonprofits, right? So she was telling us how to run a successful nonprofit. She did many of them to hundreds of millions of dollars. Some of them she was involved in. She said, don't devalue your volunteer work. Can everyone put that up? Don't devalue your volunteer work. Can we put that up? Because some of us need to hear this message. So I'm sharing it. It wasn't my intention, but since we're talking about it, let's talk about it. Don't devalue your volunteer work. Can we put that up, please, so I can post it? Okay, good. First come, first serve. Don't devalue your volunteer work. Thanks for everybody putting it, maybe more. And then she explained. She said, put a value to everything you do. Everything you do, put a value to it. Okay. I want to ask you something honestly. Now we're having a real talk. We finished that. We're having real talk. From your own side, the value, put a value from your side to the work I do for you in terms of teaching, in terms of everything I do that you benefit from, you, that I do. Amin Muhammad, for you, that you benefit from. Give me what you think the value of that is. And don't say it's invaluable. I don't want that. I want a value. What do you think? Don't say priceless. No, that means free. No, it's not free. Put a value. What is the value of what I do for you? No, honest. I'm going to help you think this through. What's the value to you? I don't care if you say it's $5, that's your value, whatever. What's the value to you of what you receive that the one who's doing it, say me, so we'll make it me. What do you think the value of that is to you? No, be honest. Say monthly. Okay, make it easy. Say monthly. For what we do, what do you think the value of that is monthly? To you. I don't care what it is. I just want to, I'm trying to help you to think through this. What do you think the value is? I said, what if you think the value is? Okay, come on. It's a lot of y'all. Give me your mindset. No, 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 no. It's a fair question. Is a. I'm not asking you for anything. I don't. I'm asking you your mind. I didn't ask you what's in your pocket. I asked you what's the value. I didn't say you could pay it. I said, what's the value to you? Remember what she said? Don't devalue your volunteer work. So if I'm not going to devalue it, I need to know its value, right? If I'm not going to devalue it, I need to know its value. So I'm asking you, to you, what's the value? Follow my point. I'm not in your pocket. Don't care about your pocket. Right? I want to know your mind so I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, good. Whatever it is. I ain't even going through the numbers, right? So whatever that value is, and you all put the numbers, don't matter how I feel about it. That's not the point. It's not about how I feel. It's your mindset. Okay. I do it for free. It's volunteer. I don't get paid to do what I do. Right? It's all volunteer work. Some of you think it's my job. You're deluded, but no problem. I do it for free. It's volunteer, completely volunteer. It's not a job, right? Even though some of you try to make it my job, it's not my job. It's something I do for free. It's volunteer, right? However, when she said don't devalue, we asked, what do you mean by that? She said, because it does cost money. It does cost money. When you volunteer, whoever is benefiting from that volunteer work, when you're not able to do it, they're going to have to pay somebody to do it. So as an organization, and it's like that. If I'm not the teacher, people don't teach for free. I have to pay them. That's it works. Very rare does a person come and say, you know what, Imam, I'm going to teach all these classes for free. That's rare. I'm not saying it never happens, but it's so rare, it's not even mentionable. Most of the time, you have to pay. So it's still free for you, but somebody's paying. That value, you need to know it. Why? Because when the volunteer is no longer available, either the service is going to go away or you have to pay someone for that service. So you need to know its value. Right? Do y'all follow my point? So that's a value to it. It's a value. And a sister, Sophia, used to tell me something. I never forgot it. It's like one of the most powerful lessons someone has ever told me in terms of organizational things. Sister Sophia told me multiple times, volunteers do what they want, employees do what they're told. Volunteers do what they want, employees do what they're told. It's so significant in organizational stuff because employees have a value and they're expected to do something because of that value. Volunteers, because there is no value on it, it's not taken normally as seriously as it is if you were paid. Right? So this long story is to tell you that when you have an event and you see it's free, know that somebody, it has a value and somebody's paying that, even if it's not you. And since you know that, then you, from your side, since you're benefiting, you should have the heart, the love for the thing you're receiving to do your part to ensure that it continues. And it alleviates that value on a few individuals and an individual. Now you understand why I said free is not free? Now you understand why I said free's not free? Y'all follow me? And I learned that in that class. I never thought of it like that because we just work, right? But when she mentioned that, I thought about that. I said, man, that's deep. That's something to think about. That is really something to think about. And can I tell you something from experience? You might not like this, but I'll tell you it from experience. Unfortunately, for whatever the reason, in our communities, this thing is not well understood or respected. And that's why we don't have many thriving institutions, because we don't understand that. We don't understand that concept well. Right? So we end up going without things that we actually need to build stronger community. But because we don't understand that concept or respect it enough, we lose out in the long run. Don't feed in the comments. Y'all adults. Come on, please. Don't do that. Y'all adults. Y'all supposed to be elders. Come on, behave yourselves. Y'all reflect me, and that ain't a reflection of me at all. Please don't do that. Let me move over. I need anyone who says they're 3453 family, I need you to learn how to behave yourself. Seriously. We're adults, we're not kids. You need to learn how to behave yourself. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. But we need to learn how to behave ourselves. Seriously. We're not animals. We know how to act with some kind of decorum. Behave yourselves. The whole world is watching. Behave yourselves. And sometimes your behavior in the comments is a complete turnoff for people who want to learn. Sometimes your behaviors in the comments is a complete turnoff for people who want to learn. Behave yourself. And I don't accept from nobody, not even myself, that we rude and disrespectful to each other. I don't accept at all from nobody, not even myself. That doesn't mean don't say the truth. That doesn't mean don't speak your mind, but you don't have to be rude. And once you see that you and someone are not seeing eye to eye, stop. We don't see eye to eye. I'm gonna let that go. Why everyone gotta have the last word like kids? We're grown. Stop. And that applies to all of us. To all of us. No one singled out, because it's different people at different times. Have some respect for each other. You can disagree. You can, and be tolerant with each other. Especially when people's typing. Type words don't tell tone. They don't. Sometimes people type stuff and you think they're saying one thing and they're saying something else. Sometimes you think they're serious and they're joking. You cannot read type words and understand the state of the person who's saying it all the time. Sometimes you can, sometimes you don't. So sometimes you're projecting on a person, and it may be wrong. So even when you see people typing, don't always feed. Then you got some people who do things just to get you to feed. And every time you go right in. We can't do that. We're grown, behave ourselves. Am I clear with that? Am I clear? Seriously. And when y'all see people doing that, tell them we're not here for that because they're interrupting you, right? Just we're not here for that. We're not. We're not here for that. And I know sometimes some of you want to come to my aid. I'm not that soft. I don't need you to come to my aid. Like, I don't take that stuff personal. I don't. I don't even pay no attention most of the time. And even when I do, I'm usually messing with somebody. But you can't be doing what I do and have thin skin. You can't do it. The work we do requires thick skin. So I don't need you to protect me. I don't need you to defend me. I'm good at that myself, right? I don't need nobody to defend me. Because I'm not taking it the way you are. So you don't have to come defend me. You don't, right? And if someone's disturbing you, ignore them. So because I see it a lot, and I always get informed about it. The people in your peanut gallery. I don't have a peanut gallery. What are you talking about? You know, them people that are in them comments. I don't have a peanut gallery. There are people, it's internet. People do what they want. I could tell them don't do it, but it's internet. People do what they want. That's what people do on the internet. So I mentioned this because of what I see going on in the comments. And I'm not mentioning no names. It's irrelevant. Don't do it, no matter who it is, right? We need to behave ourselves. Okay. And that's a reminder for myself. Even I need to behave myself. So tonight, I'm going to do my best on the round table to behave myself, right? Sometimes we get a little too loose, right? All right, inshallah ta'ala, any questions about the event? Any questions that I could clear up for you quickly before we go? So remember, Saturday from 10 to 6, Sunday for 10 to 6. And seeking knowledge as it struggles, so be on your best behaviors. Definitely don't bring no bad behaviors to the masjid. Stay home if you can't behave yourself. Stop. I don't need the stress. Right? Inshallah ta'ala. May Allah make it easy. No class Friday night. And it will not be on social media. No. And I remind you, if you record, you will be asked to remove yourself. Don't record. No video, no audio. Take your notebook. That's your recorder. No video, and there will be security watching to ensure that no one does it. So don't record. There will be no recording. Does everyone hear that? No recording? It's clear, right? No video, no audio. Absolutely no recording. That's in a manner. That's a trust. No, we're grown. We don't need to take people's phone. You're grown. We don't need pictures. No. No recording. No taking pictures, none of that. No pictures. I mean, you can take pictures of yourself, but don't be taking people pictures. And no, we came to learn, not to do anything else, right? Learn to take notes. And we're going to be strict on that. So if you travel long distance, don't travel and break the rules because you're going to be upset. Don't do it. It's clear. Before you came, we told you don't do it. So don't do it. Right? All right. I hate that we have to go through all these things, but we do because we know us. We have to be clear. Right. Tayyib, inshallah, it'll be beneficial. May Allah reward you all. Barakallahu bikum wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.